Afternoon, everyone. It's a slightly better day. Weather's not too bad this time around. Well, it's still cold as a bitch, but the wind isn't as bad as it was yesterday. Seems like I'm getting more views, a little bit more views on my videos. Thank you for those who have watched. Thank you for those who have lurked. Thank you for those who have watched the entire the entire duration of my videos. My videos are going to be focused around being a little bit shorter, more condensed. So I appreciate it. Leave a comment, I love all the comments. I love the very few comments I receive. I love it. Even if it's negative. Remember, negative press isn't necessarily bad press, or negative press is still press. Negative information is still information. I still contribute to the algorithms. So thank you for a few of those comments, which I'll never delete. I will keep them up and I will pin them. And if you are interested in saying something more than insults, you can always write in my comment section and tell me something and we can have a discussion. But let's get that out of the way. So thank you. Inauguration shit, I fell asleep yesterday, so I didn't really watch much. I already did state that my channel was going to be less political shit, so this is me now moving into the whole black thing. So the main thing right now that I'm going to be speaking on is what the fuck happened yesterday with the protests? Why is it that after the election, if you check my earlier videos, I posted a video saying, what is the utility that you gain out of engaging in this type of civil disobedience, considering the environment right now? We won House and Senate. We won House and Senate. We have a Democratic president in the White House. Obviously, things weren't going to be solved overnight. What are people protesting? Of course I see who's protesting. It's white people and you fake ass woke black people joined together protesting bullshit. Fuck Biden, still a fascist. BLM. Biden doesn't care about black people. Like Kamala Harris locks people. Like, I'm really trying to figure out. So let me not rant here. The problem with that is this. Now that tensions are lower, and now that, we are past the stage of getting someone in office, getting people in office that are worth it, black people need to start holding themselves accountable, and minorities about problems that they contribute to and what the world contributes to. So the conversation now has to move more towards the levels of accountability on both ends, even though most of the accountability is going to end up on, on society, other people. I'm aware of it. But there has to be a level of accountability with people within the minority community, with minorities, in order to push towards an Overton shift, or in order to push towards whatever activism they want to engage in, leading into policies being created. One of the problems that the black community is very transphobic, homophobic, all this. It's the same shit with every group who always tries to center around being pro-black or pro-white, pro-Hispanic. It's all the same shit. You shit on people for marrying outside of your race or dating outside of your race. You hate gay people. There's homophobia, there's social conservatism, and you also infringe on, well, I guess it's the first one too, you infringe on the autonomy of women, because part of the idea is, in order for a group of people, or in order for us to in order for there to be a full expression of embracing who we are, we're still going to only interact or only mate with people who are of our kind. This is backwards. This is really backwards. And the reason why I think it's important for the black community and minorities to pay attention to their frameworks about these things is, what ends up happening is the more extreme parts, the fuck none of these niggas care about you, fuck the right and the left don't care about us, more of these primitive premises, these shitty ass points within the framework to justify And the whole idea of, you know, progress for minorities, that also catches the white people. I'm gonna give Long Beach Griffey posted a video about like white people protesting, and it's the same shit, right? The premises that you're using to justify your argument, some of the premises for black people who are woke, but these niggas are actually fake woke. They say they're informed, they talk about reading, but the only type of reading they have are long-winded explanations that don't even have clear links on a Facebook, a Twitter, or a Tumblr post. These same, you have white people getting the whole, you have white people and black people who are aware of some of the more aggressive types of civil disobedience, more of the, hey, Stono Rebellion or Nat Pike's Rebellion or the fall of the USSR and protest or some Das Kapital. The people that end up being brought into this entire circle, these people end up being the ones who are in Oregon or Seattle, like we saw yesterday. They smash shit. They don't have any precision with their framework. They say fuck police. And the people who you end up getting out in general are mostly white people and a vocal minority of black people. They go out, they're young, they go out, they protest, and you know who the ones who are destroying the shit the most? The white people. It's the white people. You have a lack of precision in the frameworks to justify what you want to do, where some of the things that people in the black community shouldn't even be trying to do. And what that leads to is taking in more of the more strongman, fuck it, revolution, kill the rich, kill all that shit, abolish the police. You get some of these more extreme beliefs of these white people who just want to be angry and they want to take up some of these social issues as a fad. What it leads to happening is you taking a step forward and 2 steps back. When these white people go into these areas, go into these neighborhoods and destroy shit, that is still a small selection of people. But to the public, it is not perceived as a small percent of the people. It is perceived as a majority of people. When you allow this shit to be done, these white people cause destruction, then they go back home to the suburbs, and you as a black person, you have to deal with the consequences of there being policy, there being a stronger response to black people in these neighborhoods. And the black people and the white people who did all of this damage, who did all the smashing windows, they don't deal with the beatings. They don't deal with it. So while this is a vocal minority, and to add on to that, the problem with this vocal minority is when it's shown to the public, they don't show a small, they make that seem like that is the norm, like that is most of the people. So you have a vocal minority. At that point, it doesn't get into the morality of an action. It gets more into the fact that you're doing it is a thing. But you know, that's a different moral discussion or a philosophical discussion that most people aren't ready for yet, to be honest. What you end up doing is you get the media to pay attention to it. The media, depending on the news source, which is going to be Fox and something, it's not going to display to its main audience that, oh, it's Antifa, oh, it's BLM, look at all those people, don't you see, this is why BLM doesn't care about minority. Like you see the vocal minority being a cancerous tumor on people who aren't more informed, who are aware of, you know, the difference between activism and, you know, being a politician and engaging in civil disobedience or some sort of activism that promotes into policy. You see the people who can do the work, you see the people who are informed, all of a sudden they get thrown to the back, and the people and what they're portrayed as when they try to articulate their points, like me, niggas think I'm some pro-black, fuck all police, defund the police. Like, nigga, I'm not like that. And because that's because there's no precision. So one thing that's very important is moving forward. So I don't feel bad for what the fuck happened with the protest yesterday. You shouldn't have been outside. I don't know what the fuck black people are doing any of these things. None of these things that we did in terms of civil disobedience yesterday. Actually, let me take that back. Any left-leaning person who was engaging in that civil disobedience yesterday, there was no reason for it. Why? Because we fucking won the White House. I don't get it. And what you're gonna see is you saw mostly white people. I already had a conversation with someone at work today, and they told me, they were like, oh, I saw a bunch of black people in there. I saw a bunch of Hispanics. I don't know what videos that woman saw, but again, this is a clear example of, even if it's a brown person around, the people who are smashing shit are the white people. And you do get some of those fake woke black motherfuckers who are in that crowd who are like, yeah, and they do it afterwards. But who are the ones who started it? It's the fucking white kids, the little fucking scrawny white kids who are gonna go back to their suburbs, and they're not gonna deal with the repercussions of you engaging in that form of civil disobedience. They're not gonna go for it. They're not gonna go for it. So moving forward, black people must have more precision. Stop paying attention to these bad faith ass niggas who make it seem like the right and the left are the same when they are fundamentally different. They're not even close. Stop doing that, because you make the people who are actually doing the work, the politicians, most of the left who wants to have legit policies pushed forth, you shit on them because people are only going to pay attention to the vocal minority. So you don't do it. That shit needs to stop. I don't feel bad for anyone. Again, for anyone who got hurt yesterday, your ass shouldn't have been outside. What are you doing? If you check my last video, was some of the things